Michigan. My audio sucks, so I'll let you take it away, Jim. Go ahead.
So, well, I'm filling in for Jim. He's here, but he's in remote Idaho. So, welcome to the Friday episode of the Storage Meetup. Glad everybody's here. We did have somebody on for a show and tell. I don't know if he's here.
Yeah, Hunter
from NASA Storage.
I don't think
I don't see him on here.
Keep an eye out.
So, Jim, you sent me a couple videos. You want me to play them?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, hold on here. Let's share this screen here. Share this one. Well, let's move these out of the way for a second. I got too many screens going on here. Let's share this one. This one here. And let's see what this.
Okay, you ready? All right, $115 for car insurance.
All right, skip.
That's how much I was paying. Okay.
Skip this ad
here.
here.
A few months.
Teachers in the South Bay will now be able to get free school supplies for their classroom. That's thanks to a new supply.
Is that the one you want? No, maybe this one here.
Just opened up this
The
morning.
woman who says
Their NBC
personal belongings
Go
are
business
missing
here.
from her public storage unit on Dordt Highway. Since that story aired, more people have reached out to ABC 12 online, saying they've had similar experiences. Tonight, ABC 12's Tanaya Jordan takes a closer look at those claims and what the Better Business Bureau says storage renters should know to protect themselves.
Is this about the Jordans?
Up a nerve with viewers who say they're dealing with similar issues at the same storage facility. We took those concerns to the Better Business Bureau to see how you can protect yourself before and after renting a storage unit.
They didn't take my stepmom's stuff. She 94 years old. They didn't want her stuff. They took my stuff and Quincy's stuff.
Stuff she says belonged to her late son and former 3rd Ward Flint City Councilman Quincy Murphy.
Bikes, speakers, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm still writing down stuff. Fireplaces, saws.
Deborah Murphy says it all started when the lock on her unit at Public Storage on Dordt Highway was changed, forcing her to call a locksmith.
So my daughter called a locksmith. A locksmith came, opened it up for us. We went in, opened it up, everything was there.
What happens next, Murphy says, raises questions.
They said, do you want your lock or ours? I said, well, I'm going to use my own. And so this lady gave me this little red thing, and she was showing me how to put that on with my lock. And so I did that.
Murphy says when she returned to her unit a few days later, she found a new lock and more than half of her items completely gone.
Had to call another locksmith, and me and my son opened up the thing. 75% of my stuff was missing.
She says her account was up to date and added she was never notified her account was delinquent or listed for auction. I talked to Nakia Mills, the chief marketing officer at the Better Business Bureau. She noted that storage companies in Michigan must legally notify consumers before selling their belongings. Flint police tell us they're now working with the Criminal Investigations Bureau for further investigation on this claim and others. In the meantime, Mills recommends carefully reviewing rental agreements, documenting what's stored inside, and keeping receipts for your records.
What level of protection do they have, especially in these sort of cases? Like, is security on site? Do they have cameras, to monitor the area? For yourself, we always recommend take photos and list out your inventory so you have proof of what was in there in the first place.
If you have a storage issue you want ABC 12 News to look into, you can reach out to us on Facebook at ABC 12 News. I have yet to hear back from Public Storage. Once I receive a response, I'll update you here and online. In Flint, Tanaya Jordan, ABC 12 News.
Gotta love it, right? Flint, Michigan.
You'll hear back from Public Storage.
Randy, what do you know about Flint, Michigan?
Hey, it's no different than anywhere else, right? There's always two sides to every story, but it's bad press, right?
It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know how.
I would say I like to showcase the news stuff, but it's never good news. It's always bad news.
Never good news.
Showcase the other one though. The other YouTube. It's back to school stuff. This was actually good news. Just showcase kind of the community event.
Hold on, let me show this here.
I'm sure we all have stories of break-ins, the unique ones. At the extra space days, my extra space days, they took Mylar balloons and held them in front of their
Get
face
free school
until they
supplies
got up to
for
the unit.
classroom. That's thanks to a new supply pantry in Chula Vista. It just opened up this morning, and our NBC7's Nicole Gomez was there for the ribbon cutting.
Almost schools in the South Bay are already in session, but as the year goes on, teachers will need replacements, of course, and now they can come here and stock up for free. The L Street self-storage facility in Chula Vista has converted 2 units into a new teacher supply pantry. It has everything from art supplies to cleaning supplies and everything in between. The goal of the pantry is to ease the financial burden many teachers face when purchasing classroom supplies with their own money. While today marks the official launch, organizers are hosting their Stock the Pantry drive through the end of August in hopes of providing this teacher resource for the whole year and beyond. They're asking the community for donations, including essentials like pencils and folders, creativity supplies, instructional materials, and hygiene items. We spoke to a special education teacher who says this will be such a relief.
This honestly blows my mind because I've never heard of something like this. I think as teachers, we're always looking for resources, what we can. But ultimately, my husband can attest that I spend a lot of money on my own for my students. I don't want to ask parents, honestly, and I don't want students to be without.
If you're interested in donating, you can come here to drop off L Street Storage in Chula Vista. They're open all day except Sunday, 9 to 6. Reporting from Chula Vista, Nicole Gomez, NBC7.
All right, this feels almost.
Now that's good. That's good publicity, right? Got to give that one credit. That's a great way to market it. Marketing, Eva, Corey, what do you? I mean, that's a.
We have a facility that's doing that. I think it's in one of our Dallas facilities that's collecting the back to school supplies.
Yeah, we used to do a blanket drive every year for orphanages in Mexico as well. I mean, there's a lot that you can do.
During Thanksgiving or during turkey time, you can do it you can do it for Christmas. During when kids are going back from or leaving school, you can do supplies for home and stuff like that. Also, we used to do a gift wrapping station for the schools. We'd let the schools have a whole unit. We'd keep all their gift wrapping stuff and then let the people come by on a weekend and do a whole gift wrapping station there. And so that was a charity event. Anything that you can do to build community if you're, smaller, is always good. And that's something that you can do and post towards your Facebook and your social. And that's kind of that way that you break through that barrier where storage doesn't have a very good social presence. If you're good with your community, you can have a good social presence.
Eva, we always did the Toys for Tots drive every year, early November. We did it at every one of our locations. Now, when we were doing the remote stores, it was kind of hard. But when we had office stores, Toys for Tots was a great thing. And we actually ran it. We convinced the owner at one time to run a deal for any current customer who brought in a toy, $25 or value, whatever. We entered them in a drawing and we gave away a free month rent for the winner. So that, they brought in a toy and then they're like, well, if we bring more than one toy, can we get 2 tickets? I'm like, yeah, help yourself. The more toys we got, but one time, the one store, we literally had a 10 by 15 full of toys for the Marines to pick up because it was in a nicer neighborhood. And we were having people just dropping off stuff. And it did well. And the one year we were late getting the box out, we were having people come back saying, hey, are you doing your thing again this year? So people remember it. And like you said, put it on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, but get out there. We did a blanket email push through our software to every one of our customers saying, hey, new toy. Well, we gave away a free month rent.
Yeah, excellent idea. We wound up having someone come bring 5 bikes to one of our Oceanside facilities every year. I mean, it's a great way to build community and they remember.
Yeah. We always did one. Even your point with the wrap station, we actually did a marketing push in October for a Secret Santa. We did a lot of Secret Santa stuff where you could rent a 5x5 for half price, whatever, and hide your presence here. And then we put up a gift wrap. We took a 10 by 10 and turned it into a gift wrap station and put a bunch of wrap out there. Some stores did pretty well with it. Others didn't, but we had a lot of people that were coming in, rented a second unit. A lot of times they wound up keeping the second unit for a while. So if you got those small 5x5s, or I got a client in California who's got 3x5s, I'm like, dude, that's Secret Santa size unit right there, or lockers. So Randy, I think you and I talked about that before. You did something like that out in Michigan, didn't you?
Oh yeah. One of the ways that you guys can compete, we talk about you can't afford to outspend public storage and you can't outspend extra space, but you can out flexible all of them, and you can enshrine yourself within the community and do local marketing that helps you. And these are just good ways to get your brand out. And you notice L Street Storage or whatever they are, they're probably some local guy that has 3 or 4 locations, or maybe 1 location, but he's on the news, and you can't buy that kind of publicity. No. So
yeah,
we just good.
I had one customer, he had a billboard. It was a digital billboard that he had outside of his thing. And he literally would put congratulations for like a promotion for the guy who was at the, a hardware store, because he went and he talked to the whole town. He was just really very talkative guy, but he would always put like his congratulations up for the community. He would say like, I think it was like, the Pioneers or something was their school team. So we would go Pioneers, we won this year, or we got to semi-champion or whatever it was, like the semifinals. And he would put that up. And so the whole community would like come by and tell him things, because they would go up on the billboard and they'd feel a little bit famous. And that was the way he built like this huge community off of that. And his whole Facebook had like a request section and everything.
Mm. Randy, to your point, we had the PASSA event this week where Norm Shore from William Warren got into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. I've known Norm a long time. Great guy. And he made a couple good points when he was talking. And actually, Joe Doherty from SSA reinforced it with some of these new laws and legislations going around with the California, New York with the rates and all. Norm Shore reiterated again, beating the REITs comes down to getting your managers properly trained, making sure they know what they're doing. And, it goes back to, I said we did the mystery shop one last week with Dan Cosgrove, getting the managers understanding the process and that understand when they come in. I mean, I put it on the video. I looked at a company I'm working with, their lead tracking report. And in a month, Randy, they had 22 walk-ins and 22 walked-in rented. They had 1 phone call and 1 phone call rented. But then they had 27, web leads, and 14 of them rented. So they had about a 50%. So you and I both know that they're not logging everything. Getting that manager, the manager could be your best friend, especially against some of the REITs and Extra Space. Literally, I had a friend last week. We were back in Philly at a game. I had him rent a storage unit at a smaller regional player because he was getting out of his apartment. And he didn't go to Extra. I told him not to go to Extra because of rate increases. He rented a 10 by 15 in May for like $160. He just got a $120 rate increase 3 months later. And I'm like, he goes, I had looked at his lease. It wasn't that. And we went back and they're like, oh yeah, well, that's what we're doing. I said, it wasn't disclosed. And they did, agree to work with them on the rate increase, but we know, I mean, how many times have we walked into an Extra Space or a public storage and they tell you that, hey, rent it now for here, but your rate's going to go up in 30 or 60 days. I don't know about you, Randy, but I know when I loved auditing properties and walking down the hallway, I love seeing Extra Space and public storage locks on my property.
You see their stickers all the time. And, and that's one of the reasons that we're offering a rate guarantee. You can buy it or you can't buy it. It's up to you. But you have to be flexible in what you offer your customers.
Yeah.
And people have to be trained. And one of the biggest things I see managers doing is overselling the size. And a customer walks in and they can fit their stuff in a 10 by 10, and my manager's out there quoting a 10 by 20. You know what comes with a 10 by 20? The 10 by 20 price tag. And I tell my folks all the time, your job is to rent a unit to the customer that they can fill up front to back, top to bottom, side to side. 100%. If they want to pay for extra room to walk around and lay inside the storage space, that's up to them. But your job is to quote them the smallest unit that you can do it. And if
We
they
always
call
told our
somebody first and get quoted a 10 by 10 and they walk into your place and you're quoting them a 10 by 15 or a 10 by 20, you're out of the game before you start.
Dude, we always told our managers, yeah, when you're talking to somebody on the phone, try to get him on the property. Hey, Randy, what are you putting in there? You know, maybe a 10 by 15, but you know what? If we can pack you and stack you right, I can maybe save you some money and get you in a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 12. And when you tell people you're going to try to save them money, they're going to listen to you. Because how many, I mean, on the screen, how many of us had a customer pull in our property and say, I need the biggest thing you got, and they don't, or they pull in with a 24-foot U-Haul and say, I want a 5x5. People do not understand size of storage units.
Or they walk in and they said, how much is your 10 by 20? And your manager goes, oh, that's $215. Okay, thank you, goodbye. Without ever asking what the hell they're putting into storage.
The worst question, what's your cheapest unit? How many, if you raise your hand if you've ever been asked that question, and then my always rebuttal is that depends on what you're storing. It's an actual just turn around and say the qualifying questions are, well, I can give you the cheapest unit, but I'm going to tell me what you're storing first, because our not cheapest, but I refer to a least expensive unit may not be the best fit for you. So let's figure this. Let's figure this out and put it together like a Tetris puzzle.
And
when I used to work for Open Tech, and for like the call center, when the call center agents used to get, you randomly screen calls or whatever, and they would fail that call tremendously. What was it, Mooney? Within the first like X amount of time the call was taking place, they had to ask, like, one of the main questions was, what are you storing? Because people don't know, like, they don't know storage, and they would always fail a shop if they didn't ask within a certain time. What was it? I forget it, Mooney. You know it, because you used to call me and complain about it all the time.
Aggravating as hell.
Yeah.
Whenever we were training our managers, one of the first questions we taught our team to ask is, have you ever used storage before? Because you can gauge the conversation there. If they've used it before, okay, do you remember what size you had? Great, I need that. If they've never used storage before, okay, Eva, I'm going to ask you a few quick questions to help us get the best possible unit at the best possible price and save you some money. So by doing that, you got their attention. They're more willing, because if I say, Eva, what are you storing? None of your damn business. But if I phrase it to, I hate to use the phrase all the time, but I do. Like my mom used to say to me all the time, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when you ask it in a way that you're offering to save somebody some money, because, I mean, think about it. We talked about it the other day. Storage is not the best time for anybody. They need it because they need it. And if, divorce, kids are moving home, I mean, you name it, the 5 Ds, right? Or it's crazy. But if you don't train your Randy, you don't train your managers.
Right. I want the question is, hey, what's going on with you that caused you to come into my store today? What's going on? And you can get them to talk to you. Building rapport is probably the
crazy.
The most unused thing in storage. And it's important. Build rapport with your customer. People do business.
Hey, Corey, do you want to showcase that ChatGPT thing you're talking about?
Yeah. So I know that we've all been talking about ChatGPT, but ChatGPT ads are here. Let me show you. I found the other week, right as it was announced, CubeSmart, but it looks like Public is also on the bandwagon. There we go. So I did a search. Can you tell me about storage units near me? And right here, first unit options, consider this one nearby, and it's an ad. So they're here. It'd be very interesting to see how this all pans out, but ads are here in chat.
Corey, Melissa Stiles spoke at PA again, and she said that for Sam, AI searches are only representing like 1% or 1.5% of their total searches. But she said it's up like 200% in the last 6 months.
Yeah, it's starting to change a lot. I don't know if they're converting Yeah, I think that's where people are really in the beginning phases of their journeys is what we're finding right now. But it'll be interesting to see as people start to trust it, if they're going to be able to actually do the booking. So if you haven't done yet, try to book a unit through ChatGPT or Claude and see how your website does.
Hey,
You'll be
Corey,
surprised.
was that a good fit, that ad? Did it
Yeah.
link to a facility near you?
Let me make sure, Tyler. I just wanted to bring it up so everybody could see. Let's go see if it actually knew where I was. No, it's their homepage.
Corey, Melissa did say that the AI searches are converting at a much higher level because by the time they're getting to them, they've gone through all the questions they've wanted. So she said AI is converting a lot higher leads closing percentage because they ask more of the questions online, and by the time they've gotten to the page, they already know what they want. They just rent the unit. So that's another mind-blowing tactic that it's going to grow, but it's going to get take some stuff out of the equation.
Exactly. And consider that, right? Do those searches so that you know the types of questions that people are asking and make sure that information actually gets on your website so that they can find that information. And that's, I think, the key that a lot of people are missing is you'll use it, but you need to understand the intent and the information needs to get on your website. Do your research on it, ask it the questions, and make sure that it gets on your website as you're doing that homework.
Can we please just go back? Can we please just go back to the time when you had 3x5 cards?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Corey,
I did a search this week. I used Chat, Gemini, Copilot, and Perplexity. I did the same search in all four of them. Completely different. Probably because I've been in Chat more than anything. It knows me better. But wow, what a difference going from each one of them. So it's like, where do you go?
It's really interesting to look at the bias because each platform seems to have a slightly different bias, but just it's interesting. So don't just look at one. You have to look at several. Just take a look at those things. Because I know ChatGPT leans heavy into reputation. So if there's anything bad about you online, it will pick it up and it will not let it go. So rate increases is not a fan of, I can tell you. Just it's really interesting to dig in.
Do you think we're going to see any consolidation with these AI searches? Because there's new ones popping up every day. But I mean, if you go through ranking, and I actually saw a video, and they ranked like the top 8 of them on what they do, and they said, well, if you want to do this, use this one. If you want to do this, use this one. And look, people don't want to use multiple ones. They want to get one. They want to get comfortable with it. So, I mean, Mitchell, you're in do AI more than a lot of people I know as well. What are you seeing on your side? I mean, I know you use Claude a lot, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to get the masses. The masses are still hitting chat. I mean, you've got everyone that was kind of the first leader, right? And they continue to push against Claude. They're really battling it out with their new features. And then, so you're going to have probably the mass still hitting chat, especially for questions like storage related. It's still very commonly used as a chat bot. So it's very easy to go there and be like, what's the best storage facility in this zip code? And I was just doing that while you guys are talking. And like it recommends, like someone mentioned the rate increases, like it will pull out that and say that because it's probably skimming your reviews too and kind of grabbing that thing. And then it gives you based on like that information, also SEO and everything else, right? But to answer your question, I think it's going to be chat right now. And then does it ever consolidate? It's a great question. I don't know. That's an unknown. So
it'll be interesting to see as more people gravitate to more things, but currently every platform has its own unique thing, right? Claude is excellent on doing reports and a lot of that code and all of those things. And ChatGPT is, like you were saying, a lot of people use it for search. A lot of people have replaced Google for ChatGPT. I know, right? I've been in conversations. Oh, let me look it up on ChatGPT. It's changed and evolved a lot. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be more about adoption versus consolidation right now.
One thing I'm looking at with the website
That's what the yellow pages said 10 years ago.
Yeah. but it's interesting when you talk to Pug and Go Local and some of the website companies. I've asked them point blank, how are you adapting what you're doing on the SEO side, all those things, to accommodate for the new search criteria? And I know Go Local had a pretty good perspective on it when Mel and I had a conversation. But again, it's staying on top of these things, making sure everything's right. And I mean, it's changing every minute.
Eva, you and I can both probably weigh in that we're a little frustrated by the lack of adoption by some of the platforms that are out there. They've been very slow to move, and this is moving faster than light, and it's been very frustrating to get them to come up to speed with what best practices are.
Well, Jess, I see Jess on the screen. I'm going to kind of put Jess on the spot, because what is Storage Group doing to kind of compensate and understand the new search parameters people are doing with chat and Claude and all that? How are you on your team building the websites around that to do those things?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm sorry, I'm sitting outside and it's loud. I probably should go inside. First, we have an AI visibility report now that we offer to our clients that shows attribution amongst ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity. I believe it's those four. And then it tells you like the attribution of where like that was found. Was it through like blog content, your website, listings, reviews, etc. And then it gives us a very succinct list of actionable items that we can do to cure. Same as like SEMrush or some of those other marketing tools out there that can really like dial in your SEO and say, hey, your meta tags here aren't right, or hey, you need more reviews, you don't have enough. And we can run a scan on it every single week and see how our clients are progressing with it. But if I can give advice on getting recognized in AI search as a whole, I would focus on three things. Your website, first and foremost. It's every single word on your website right now literally counts, because you have to think about like these language models, they're studying numbers and words, and it's just like rinse and repeat, repetition. The more they see it, the more they'll recognize it. We really dial in on the frequently asked questions. We really want to make sure each landing page, if you have multiple locations, has like its unique identifiers so it knows it's different. The second place is your listings. Consistency in your listings. There's lots of services out there that will just deploy it to 100 different listing sites for you one time accurately. And then your reviews, because it's studying those words, those sentiment words like best self-storage, like Mitch was saying, where people are like entering that. And it makes total sense what Melissa was saying, is that these are high intent people. So I would say, as you just explore advertising on some of these channels, like chat we're talking about, your cost per acquisition, if it's higher, I wouldn't necessarily be worried about that, because again, they're high intent, they're gonna convert most likely, is what we're seeing. So I think, and I mean, here's another stat that everybody needs to think of. What Google search took to gain in search activity in 11 years, chat did that in 2. So it's like on hyper speed, right? As I think everybody knows AI is, I mean, it's moving at a rapid rate. So I would employ or get with a team that can get some visibility for you, see where all that attribution's coming in, so they can dial in your marketing efforts, dial in your website, dial in your listings, dial in your reviews. I mean, this is a critical time. Jim, you work with Kale at Storage Reach. He can solicit those reviews for you, get you more reviews, et cetera. So I recommend looking at those three things: websites, reviews, and your local listings.
So Jim, since he's in, upstate Idaho, can't talk right now. Question for the marketers: do you think right now, if the site is mindful about AI search results, could it equate to an extra couple of rentals a month? I think, now I'm not a marketer, but I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jim, what people are doing is, they're right. They're immediately, well, not everybody, but some, they go to chat and I need self-storage for a 2-bedroom apartment. I have a washer and dryer, and they throw it in chat. give me the 3 best options within 5 miles of me. Chat will spit that back, and then it will half the time recommend like, hey, because you have a washer and dryer, you actually need drive up. Well, now I need drive up within 3 to 5 miles of myself. Give me the best prices. And so they're narrowing down their search through chat, and then they just go directly to those 1 or 2 that chat told them to go to. So it's no longer the old school search where I got to sift through 5 to 8 different facilities around me. It's just doing it for me.
But are you taking them to the website or to the GBP page? It could be either one, right?
Either, yeah, either.
So you still got to make sure.
Once they made their mind up on the brand, they're probably going to rent from. Whether they go direct or they link to it, like they're getting there.
There was just a study that was released that talked about that search intent, and one of the things that they're finding is as people are going through, they do their search, they're still doing their homework, and they'll still look at your Google Business profile, and they'll look at your social, just to make sure. So everybody's still not quite there yet, but they are honing in that information, and then they're ready to make that purchase. And like Jess was saying, it's the same things that we've been saying for so long. Make sure that you have reviews, make sure that your citations are there, and make sure that your website is solid. And that's the same practice that we've been preaching for ever. Like right. Like it's
Somebody
still
says
SEO.
is dead. Like I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
It's like beating a dead horse. Jim, do you want to set up some breakup rooms to give everybody a chance to have some smaller? We got about 55 people in here, so we can do a couple groups. But yeah, I mean, I also added in Jim's done a great job with the Meetup Community Map. We're at 115 connections. So if you're not on the map already, I put the link in the chat for you to, please list yourself. You can put all your connections there. We all can connect with each other, find each other. 36 states out of 50, not bad. Jim, you should register yourself in Idaho since you're up there. We don't have an Idaho person.
That's cheating. That's cheating. All right, let's do it. I'll open the breakout rooms here in 30 seconds.
Jim, are you going to be able to take your picture from where you're at?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. I'm just asking because I know you always want to take a picture, so I want to make sure you can get it.
Pretty sure I can get it. I think the hamster's running fast enough to get the internet going. I can take a picture.
Eva, were your ears ringing? We were talking about you a lot.
What were you guys saying?
Anthony and I were talking about you and Corey a lot.
Better you than
Horrible
me, Eva.
thing.
Better you than me.
Not supposed to tell her.
Didn't tell her everything yet.
What goes on in the break room stays in the break rooms, except for when Jim pops in. Well, I know I'm going to be seeing Anthony in Vegas and Jim in Vegas, so I'll definitely make sure to pay you guys. And Dusty, woohoo!
We didn't say anything too bad.
All right, I'll pay you guys back.
Except for Mitch, we were hammering on him, but he's got an easy storage solutions website, so there's not much that you can do.
Well, no, but they can do a lot with the GBP page, dude.
Yep.
I can help.
We said that. So, Mitch, you're back on here. Corey's right above you, and Eva's on here. Say hi to them. But I would drop your contact in the chat, Mitch, so that you guys can connect.
Yeah, just post with Eva. So take a look there if you can, Eva. Thanks.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sending you a text right now.
All right, we have breaking.
Looks like you were doing a little hot seat with Mitch.
It wasn't supposed to be, but he asked the question that the whole group was like, Eva and Corey, they got it. Call them.
We said Tyler too. We gave Tyler credit.
Yeah, that's
too.
right. That's right.
Tyler. Yep. It was basically just like we did a Google search of his, kind of like you would normally do, Jim. Jim Ross's is the GMB, overview, and Jim Mooney did one search. I did a different search. We came up with 2 different things. At the same time, like when you do Google Maps of his facility, there's no pictures within the GMB profile. Otherwise, if you would do like a Google search for the actual specific facility, the pictures did show up. And he's been doing good reviews, all the things. And we just said, hey, reach out to Corey, Tyler, or Eva, and at least have them take a quick look and give you some advice. If you want to go consulting way with them, that's awesome route. Otherwise, at least kind of what you need to fix.
We get back. Corey,
Yeah.
you just got your email. What was
Yeah.
the announcement?
Here we go. You saw it here first. Apple ads live on Apple Maps.
Crazy.
I got that while we were talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting to see how that one pans out.
Well, we did a search for both Jamie and Mitch I did chat searches for both of them, and both ones came up with different ads, and even asked local, and it came recommended local ones, but an ad popped up every time we did a search.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's top of the hour here. First off, I appreciate everyone and the patience going with the internet here in Nowheresville, Idaho. But we'll be back to normal next week. Let's do the selfie real quick. I can still do that. So, count of 3. You ready? Cameras on. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That works. All right. We'll wrap this up. Everyone have a great weekend. Appreciate everyone making the time and joining us again today.
Drive safe, Mr. Ross. 8 hours in the car with family and daughters could be a challenge. So,
yeah, I need all the luck I can get. I got headphones, so I'll good. I'll drown out the noise.
Oh, driving with headphones. That's really good.
Don't tell. All right.
Guys.
Take care.
Good.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.